of pay TV operator DSTV from August 7, 2025, if the company fails to reduce its subscription prices. George said the directive follows DSTV's refusal to lower prices despite the recent appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. Listen to him when he spoke at the Government Accountability Series on August 1.
I'm just going to run through a portion of my letter to DSTV. In that letter, I compared Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, and Ghana has a bigger population than Liberia, Angola, Botswana, that Ghana is bigger than as well, Eswatini, clearly Ghana is way bigger than Eswatini, and South Africa. For the premium package, Ghana pays 82 equivalent. What I did was I took all the package prices and pegged them at the central banks of all of these countries, their rates to the dollar, so that we have a uniform pricing. For premium package, Ghanaians are asked to pay $82.40. Nigerians are paying $29. Liberia is paying $61. Angola is paying $33. Botswana, $61. Eswatini, $52. South Africa, $51. Clearly, Ghana is way so high. There is no justification. It's the same content, the same old movies that are being shown. So there is no justification for Ghana being almost 30% more expensive. If you go to Compact Plus, Ghanaians are paying $54.3. Nigerians are paying $19.6. Liberia is paying $36. Angola is paying $27. Botswana is paying $43. Eswatini, $35. South Africa, $34. Again, you see the clear disparity. What is good for Liberians and Nigerians is good for Ghanaians. I am not threatening MultiChoice and I'm not hounding them out. We're simply protecting the Ghanaian people. I have made a request for 30%. What I consider a proactive step will not be you writing to me and tell me that the prudent management of the economy by the Mahama administration that has led to upgrades in our credit rating by Standards and Poor's, Fitch. You tell me that that is a fluke. And so in my letter to MultiChoice, I asked them since when they began rating economies. Because for them to tell me that the improvement, the over 30% appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi is unsustainable and cannot be projected against, I want to know what expertise they have in determining the future of the Ghanaian economy. We are simply acting as regulators. We will not give a license to a foreign entity to come and fleece Ghanaians. You want to work here in Ghana, you will work in the interest of the Ghanaian people. I gave them 21 days, they responded. I've given them another 7 days. By 7th of August, the NCA would suspend their broadcasting license if they don't come back to us with a reduction in price for the Ghanaian people.
Well, we're going to stay on this particular issue because management has officially responded to the minister. MultiChoice Ghana says price reduction as reportedly proposed by the minister is not feasible under the current economic and operational conditions. In a statement signed by Alex Otri, the managing director of MultiChoice Ghana, the company described the minister's position as regrettable, especially in light of what it says have been ongoing good faith efforts to engage government stakeholders on the matter. MultiChoice, which has operated in Ghana for over 30 years, emphasized its long-standing presence in the market and the importance of its operations to a broad network of local employees, agents, dealers, and installers. The company cautioned that any prolonged impasse could have negative implications for livelihoods tied to its value chain. Now, while acknowledging the recent appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi, MultiChoice stressed that a drastic reduction in DSTV subscriptions fees, as reportedly proposed by the minister, is not feasible under current economic and operational conditions. MultiChoice reaffirmed its commitment to keeping subscription prices as low as possible without compromising service quality or customer choice. The company also reiterated its willingness to continue engagement with the government and the NCA to find a mutually acceptable resolution.
Let us know what you make on this response across all our social media platforms. Away from that, the National Security Coordinator Abdul Razak Usman has called for an immediate end to the use of live bullets during celebratory gunfire following series of tragic incidents involving stray bullets. The call comes after multiple reports of injuries and fatalities, including the death of a Ga queen. Speaking at an emergency meeting with the National House of Chiefs, Usman emphasized the urgent need for stricter enforcement to curb the reckless discharge of firearms during celebrations.
Recent incident of celebratory gunfire has sparked national outrage, with stray bullets claiming lives and leaving others severely injured. Among the victims was a prominent Ga queen whose death during a traditional festival shocked the nation. Security analysts have long warned about the dangers of celebratory gunfire, noting that bullets fired into the air can travel long distances before striking unintended targets. Despite existing laws regulating firearm use, enforcement has been lax, particularly during cultural gatherings. The National Security Coordinator, Abdul Razak Usman, is calling for a change in narrative.
Traditionally, when musketries are to be fired during the course of installations or funerals, they go through certain laid-down procedure where Nananum allow the Asafos or the musketry group to be in a particular area using a particular caliber of, let me call it, weapons that are not using live ammunition by gunpowder with discipline. But in recent times, this is not what is happening. We have our chiefs being followed by men wielding AK-47. The licensing of these weapons are meant for only defensive purposes or for hunting. You cannot use them for celebration. And for that matter, we are pleading that no. Before maybe you rise from this setting, a form of a community is put out there directing your subjects that hence the firing of musketry should go according to your traditional arrangement. The team that are supposed to explode this musketry should be far away from our people so that it does not constitute a danger to them.
In response to the appeal, the National House of Chiefs expressed willingness to collaborate with security agencies to enforce the ban. Ojia Ohoya Ojebi II, President of the House, acknowledged the cultural significance of musketry but stressed the need for alternative, safer practices.
Nananum, when you were in my room, that's why he quoted me. I drew his attention. We ride in palanquin, dancing heavily to Phantom from or whatever it is, and then people fire musketry here and there. Do you know when somebody who have been hired to come and fire you, you wouldn't know. So these are issues that we must all address ourselves to.
The government action aims to prevent further tragedies. For now, the message is clear. The price of negligence can be fatal. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Let's do some health now. And despite efforts by the Ghana Health Service to improve maternal health service indicators, inadequate health infrastructure and other health challenges continue to affect health outcomes in many rural communities, especially in northern parts of the country. Metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies who are in charge of the provision of such infrastructure at the local level are mostly handicapped due to resource constraints. Well, in a bid to enhance access to inclusive, quality maternal, newborn and child health services across northern Ghana, Catholic Relief Services, under the Holistic Opportunities for Positive Engagement in Maternal and Child Hope project, has renovated 29 CHIPS facilities in 5 regions in the north. My colleague Christopher Bawku is joining us with more details on that. Chris, now I know that you have visited a lot of CHIPS compounds, especially in the northern part of the country. Tell us really how these health facility workers are grappling with the dilapidated services or facilities in the north.
Yes, so already you know that access to quality healthcare delivery in rural communities across the northern parts of the country has been a major challenge over the years. Now, existing health facilities to the issues of culture of maintenance has also been a huge challenge over the years, with most of the health facilities in these rural communities not being in a dilapidated state. And so over the years, it has become a cause of concern for not only health workers, but also stakeholders in the health sector. And so if you visit some of the rural communities in the northern parts of the country, you talk about northern, Savannah, and northeast, which I have visited mostly, you see that most of the existing health infrastructure are in a very terrible and sorry state. Now, you know that the assembly that is supposed to be the lead institution when it comes to local government issues and infrastructure provision is mostly handicapped when it comes to resources. And so it has often become a challenge for them to be able to renovate most of these health facilities, putting staff of the Ghana Health Service in some serious conditions that they have to render their services. So it's been a very big challenge. And over the years, health workers have complained, just as stakeholders in these areas have also been complaining.
And we know that the Catholic Relief Services is trying to complement the efforts by government to help these structures, that's the health facilities in the north. What exactly are they doing?
Yes, so over the years, Catholic Relief Services has been complementing government's efforts in the northern part of the country, especially in the area of health. And so they have been supporting health facilities with basic health equipment, and also ensuring that they renovate existing infrastructure to be able to give health workers some level of good conditions for them to be able to operate. And this time around, 29 of these health facilities in the 5 northern regions have been assisted and renovated and handed over to the Ghana Health Service for them to continue with their operations. Now, if you also look at the area of transportation when it comes to the health sector, they have also provided some tricycle ambulances to most health facilities across the northern parts of the country to be able to operate. And so their intervention has been one that is helping to, as it were, improve healthcare delivery in the northern parts of the country. Let's take a listen to what the Upper East Regional Director of Health Services has been saying.
The Upper East region is just like our sister regions in the north. It's working hard towards improving maternal and child health service indicators. As at the end of first quarter of 2025, the Upper East region antenatal care attendance stood at 64.1%. This is not where we want to be. We want to be 100%. Our skill delivery stood at 61.4%. We want to be 100%. And then our postnatal care was better. That was 99.5%. And all these indicators I'm talking about are all facility-based indicators. I mean, they are indicators that can be improved when we have facilities such as this one, for that is where our mothers will come in with their children, particularly when this project is codenamed Hope MCH.
Thanks for your time. Christopher Bawku has been bringing us all the details as regards to some structures or health facilities and CHIPS compounds that have been built in the northern part of the country.
12 years ago, a groundbreaking HPV pilot vaccination campaign was launched in Ghana to protect young girls from cervical cancer. From dispelling myths about infertility to witnessing the long-term impact of their health, these young women are living testaments of the power of vaccination. Ahead of the national HPV vaccination campaign, Sarah Penkrong has been finding out the journey of those beneficiaries and the campaign's lasting effects on their lives 12 years on.
On September 5, Ghana is expected to begin the rollout of the HPV vaccination across the country for girls 9 years to 14 years. However, in 2013, the country had a pilot program in 4 districts within the country, 2 in the northern region and 2 in the Greater Accra region. In Accra, the Shai Osudoku district as well as the Ningo Prampram district were the 2 districts selected for the exercise. Today, 12 years down the line, we are here at Ayenya, a community in the Shai Osudoku district where some of the girls who took part in the exercise are located. We are here to find out how they are faring 12 years down the line after they took the vaccines. Come along.
Nurse Gracelove Ajasin was one of the public health nurses who took part in the 2013 HPV pilot vaccination campaign. As she walks us into the community of Ayenya, she reminisced the moment like today. She has worked at the CHIPS compound in the last 15 years. The HPV pilot vaccination campaign, which was conducted in 2 phases from 2013 to 2015, targeted approximately 6,000 young girls 10 years old in each phase. According to Nurse Gracelove, dealing with a misconception was the major hurdle.
Because they found it difficult to understand why it was given to a particular class of girls or ages of girls. So they ended up saying it's a family planning method we are giving to the girls. And some were even saying it's either we are preventing them from giving birth now or later in future. And that the government have realized, one of the comments was like the government have realized we are too many. So it was a way to reduce the population, especially in girls.
Years down the line, she still keeps a close tab on some of the beneficiaries.
Because of the misconceptions behind the vaccine, I did a vivid follow-up to ensure that after the vaccine, they have not gotten any side effects, nobody fell ill, and 12 years down the line, all the girls are fine, they are healthy, some have even given birth. So they now come to accept and believe the HPV vaccine, that it's really helping and it's good for the girls.
Portia Kwame is among the young girls who took the vaccine during the pilot campaign. She tells me it was a battle for her family before they eventually allowed her to take the vaccine.
Back then, our parents and even the people from the community had concerns about the vaccine, that if we take it, we'll be either promiscuous or infertile. So I was afraid as at when I took it. But now, looking at the results now, nothing of that sort has happened. I'm grateful I took the vaccine, because the vaccine has been proven to be effective and it protects us from cervical cancer.
22-year-old Mary, another beneficiary of the vaccine, is now a mother. She tells me her situation compelled community members to dispel the myth that the vaccine will cause infertility among young girls.
Our mothers were not agreeing to do it. They thought it was a family planning vaccine, but it is not. I have a child now, even after taking the vaccine.
For residents of Ayenya, they had lost count of the time. A moment of confusion in their lives that will remain imprinted forever. Auntie Rosina is a parent who allowed her child to take the vaccine in the midst of the confusion.
I have 6 children and I forced one to take the vaccine. She has 3 kids now. The parents should allow their children to take the vaccine.
Currently, data suggest that an estimated 2,797 new cases of cervical cancer are diagnosed annually. This means there's a high incidence of the disease in the country, hence the need for the initiative to ensure young girls are protected before they become sexually active. As a public health nurse, Gracelove feels a sense of pride seeing the impact of the campaign on the lives of these young girls under her watch.
The opportunity is once again opened. Would you as a parent or guardian take advantage to get your wards protected against this deadly virus? Sarah Apenkro, TV3 News, Shai Osudoku District, Greater Accra Region.
Now, another news this afternoon, Accra will on August 5 host the Africa Health Sovereignty Summit. The summit will be a high-level gathering of African heads of state, global health leaders and policymakers. Convened by President John Dramani Mahama, the summit marks a bold step towards reshaping global health governance and securing Africa's health future. Held under the theme African Health Sovereignty in the reimagined global health governance architecture, the summit will seek to respond to urgent global challenges, including weakened multilateralism, reduced donor funding, and emerging pandemics. With Africa's health gains and the threat, leaders at the summit are advocating for reform and ownership through a new era of leadership, investment, and accountability. Central to the summit is the endorsement of the Accra Initiative, a landmark document that sets forth Africa.
Right, we head back to our earlier story on the DSTV brouhaha, and Sam George has been responding on Twitter. I have a copy of what he's written on Twitter, and it goes to say that I have read the release by DSTV Ghana and taking for consideration that they vindicate my earlier position that they simply do not take the Ghanaian people serious enough. The same group operating in Nigeria reversed price increases in Nigeria when the Nigerian authorities sued them. The Nigerian House of Representatives took the matter up and ordered a suspension of the increases. They complied. This year in April, at a time the Ghanaian cedi had seen a 10% appreciation against all major currencies, inflation had dropped by over 5% and fuel prices had also dropped. DSTV announced and implemented a 15% increase. I believe in the interest of transparency, I make public the alternate proposal that DSTV offered to me that I faultily rejected. They propose that I allow them maintain a collection of the exorbitant bouquet prices as they stand, but order them not to send the revenue to their headquarters. In all honesty, that offer lacks any logic in my estimation. The essence of my action is to see Ghanaians pay a fair price for the services offered. How does this proposal solve the real issue? For far too long, corporations have fleeced the Ghanaian people. There has been a reset and it demands a new style of public service that is fiercely protective of the Ghanaian people. I remain empathetic to the Ghanaian people, staff of DSTV, but I believe that they should stand with the rest of us as we demand what is right for us. I remain open to constructive engagements that are centered on price reduction. Anything else is tangential and of no consequence. And he ends this message by saying, for God and country. Right, that was quite a quick response on Twitter there from Sam George. And when you actually compare the prices to countries like Nigeria, Angola, and the rest, Ghana seems to be paying a lot, but they have always been making some comments on the fact that Nigeria has a
more subscription.
Absolutely, and larger population as well.
But
like we indicated earlier, you should let us hear from you on our social media platforms. on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter as well. Let us know what you make of these. Should the prices be reduced or should it be maintained as well? We are going for our very first break. We'll be back shortly. I'm Godwin Asidiba.
And I'm Judith Brown.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News, leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Watching Weekend Central. Let's do some more stories. And the Crops Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has raised concerns that a shortage of rice seeds and other crop seeds at the center is likely to affect Ghana's 24-hour farming policy. Deputy Director General of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Crops Research Institute, Professor Marianne, said the country currently does not have enough seeds in the system to meet the demands of farmers.
Ghana's ambitious vision for a 24-hour economy powered by farming is facing a critical challenge: the inability of farmers to access adequate seeds for cultivation. One of the 8 focus areas of the 24-hour economy is Grow 24. Grow 24 seeks to focus on transforming the agricultural sector through technology-driven, climate-smart practices that allows for round-the-clock production and value addition. This is to ensure food security and reduce post-harvest losses. Despite a stated commitment to the year-round farming and reducing reliance on food imports, a persistent shortage of seeds at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Crops Research Institute, is hampering progress. The Deputy Director General of the Council, Professor Marianne, says Ghana does not currently have enough seeds to meet the demands of all farmers.
What we need from government is continuous support, because there are times that the demand for the seed comes, but we don't have the resources to produce it at the quantum that is needed. And if we don't have instant off-takers, we will produce and it will be sitting there, nobody is picking. Or the demand will come and we don't have enough, so it will be imported. That is what, as a country, we have to sit down to solve such a problem and see the financial demand at the research end.
She called on policymakers to prioritize the role of the institutes in ensuring farmers have access to quality seeds.
We are not meeting the demand of the country, the whole demand. So to some extent, some seed is coming in. But when we sit down together and ensure, as the 24-hour economy is resonating with us, we ensure that holistically every sector gets what it demands. Then we will get to where we have that sufficiency, that seed is available, grain is available, and food is available.
Chief Research Scientist at CSRI, Professor Masolda Asante, urged the government to integrate the institute into its daily planning effort for the 24-hour economy.
We call on government as part of their programs to have a budget for R&D for every program they have, whether it's 24-hour economy, whether it's Feed Ghana. Research should not be an afterthought. It should be a major part, a major component of everything they do. Then we do research that fits directly into government programs.
The institute has recently released a new rice variety set to be cultivated on a 100-acre site at each Dowenya project location. These new rice varieties are expected to support farmers in sustaining 24-hour agricultural production. Joseph Armstrong, Good Albe TV3, Dowenya.
Let's head to Bawku. The Ghana Armed Forces says recent intensified military deployment and peace enforcement efforts have brought a noticeable calm in Bawku and its environs. The General Officer Commanding of the Northern Command, Brigadier General Wolanyo Agbebo, speaking to TV3, cautioned that public commentary by some security analysts risks undermining troop morale during this critical peacekeeping phase. Our Upper East Regional Correspondent Castro Senyala, who has been on the beat on the ground with the military, has more in the following report.
On July 28, the Ghana Armed Forces deployed 400 additional troops to the Upper East region after violence flared up following the tragic killing of 3 senior high school students. The new troops joined forces already on the ground in a move by the government to contain the renewed tensions. The new military reinforcement has been characterized by intensified patrols, cordon and search operations, and a significant show of force, including the use of military vehicles and fighter jets. The General Officer Commanding the Northern Command, Brigadier General Wolanyo Agbebo, said there has been appreciable calm since the peace enforcement.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the government of Ghana and, for that matter, military high command for trying as much as possible to provide everything that we want to make our stay here very successful and enjoyable. They have done their best. The rest is with us to deliver, to match the resources that they have given us. As at now, one of the greatest achievements within the past week is there has not been any single shot fired by any of the feuding parties, which means that something is being done.
General Wolanyo Agbebo said while the military is committed to restoring peace and protecting civilians, recent comments by some security analysts are causing concern.
I'm hearing some funny comments from some so-called security analysts who have not come to the ground and relied on whatever they want to rely on. It is not the best for us. Apart from the fact that they are misleading the country, they are also causing fear and panic. And it's not the best. For example, I'm told one analyst said that all our resources are in Bolga. So when there's a problem in Bawku, before we move them to Bawku, a distance of over 100 kilometers, which military command will do that to stretch his lines of communication on such a very good route? So it's not true. There's Bazua camp, which is about 15 minutes drive from Bawku, where our resources are based for this particular operation.
The Ghana Armed Forces has vowed to sustain the momentum on the ground through continued cordon and search operations and patrols to secure long-lasting peace in Bawku.
Now, over 5,000 Ghanaian students are expected to benefit from the local tertiary scholarships in the 2025-2026 academic year. Now, the registrar of the Secretariat, Alex Kweku Asafoije, said 2,000 awards will be granted to brilliant but needy students enrolled in public tertiary institutions, and the remaining 3,000 awards will be open to other qualified applicants through a competitive application and selection process.
This year's scholarship will be awarded to 5,000 qualified applicants. The breakdown of the awards are as follows. 2,000 will be awarded to brilliant but needy students across the various tertiary institutions, which will be administered by the various faculties, departments, and units in various tertiary institutions with a technical committee, which will be set up by the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to play an oversight role. 3,000 will be administered to other qualified applicants who would be selected based on competitive application process. All applicants must be Ghanaian citizens and currently resident in Ghana. Applicants should have gained admission and enrolled in a program. Because of the no fee stress policy, we are only administering this year's scholarship to level 200 students and above. All other accredited tertiary institutions are also qualified, be it private or public.
In Ghana, many people believe that writing someone's name as their next of kin automatically gives that person the right to inherit their assets. From bank accounts to property, it is a widespread assumption, but it's also a wrong one. Despite its official tone, next of kin is not a magic key to your assets. So if naming someone does not mean they will get everything when you're gone, what does it really mean? My colleague Noble Crosby Annan has been finding out and filed this report.
The next of kin. Who we are next of kin for not down. Not on the cocoa.
Next of kin, how are you? It's cool now. What that when it am so dear, what
it's a box we tick without thinking, a name we scribble with little thought. Next of kin sounds official, feels important, but for many Ghanaians, they have it all wrong.
It's like your successor. In case you are not there or you are dead, there's someone who takes in charge of your money and everything.
Oh, someone who like inherits whatever they are in charge of. Someone to be held accountable or responsible, something like that.
If I'm creating an account and they ask for a next of kin, that'll be the person who will take over the account when I'm no more.
Someone who comes after you when you happen to be dead or something.
That's where the misconception begins. We think we're handing someone the keys to a bank account, properties or pensions, but the truth may surprise you. The title, next of kin, doesn't necessarily make someone your automatic heir. It's not a legal license to your estate. So, if it's not, then what is it?
Under the common law of Ghana, the next of kin's rule is not one of a beneficiary. The next of kin's rule, Cecilia Cranton Ado, is to assist the entity, trace the family.
Next of kin is more about communication, not compensation.
In insurance, the next of kin is we solicit information from you in case of emergencies, but not necessarily you being paid the benefit. The benefit goes to the beneficiaries or the nominated beneficiaries, primarily for emergencies contact. We contact you when we don't have anybody that we can fall on.
But when it comes to assets or inheritance, what happens? When there's a will the next of kin feature at all?
There is no statutory definition of a person who is a next of kin unless a person has named someone as a beneficiary in his will before the person gets any benefit from the testator's estate or the person who died and made a will. And so, when you are being named as a next of kin, it doesn't mean that you automatically gain any benefit or gain from the estate of the person who has died and made a will.
Meaning, the person you listed at the bank may not inherit a peswa if your will says otherwise. Nevertheless, naming a next of kin has its own benefit. It can guide decision-making in hospitals or emergencies. Beyond hospitals and legal documents, the next of kin also plays a role in the workplace.
In simple terms, the records of a next of kin is to allow the employer or company to reach out to the person in case of any emergency. The fact that you're a next of kin does not mean you are entitled to any entitlement if there is.
So, the next time a form lands on your desk and asks for your next of kin, pause. Don't just write a name because it sounds right. Ask yourself, do they know and can they act? Noble Crosby-Annan, TV3 News, Accra.
Quite a revelation by my colleague Noble Crosby-Annan. So if you have your eye on someone's property just because you are the next of kin, then you should start to think otherwise. We're going for another break. We'll be back shortly. My name is Godwin Asidiba. This is Weekend Central.
In uncertain times, it can be hard to imagine yourself completing the CIMA professional qualification. But with our new digital-first learning and assessment platform, you can. The CGMA Finance Leadership Programme, or FLP, gives you control over your study progress. The CGMA FLP is a remote-based, self-paced learning platform that lets you qualify from home with online assessments and study support.
This August, give your kids what they really want. Your full attention, your laughter, your time. It's time to press pause and play together. Join us for the 3FM Family Fun Day, a full day escape, popular joy, bonding, and unforgettable fun. Whether you're a family of 2, 4, or 10, every family is welcome because this day is all about togetherness. Happening on Saturday, 9th August at Shorna Island from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Picture this: live performances from talented kids, inter-family competitions with prizes for the most creative, coordinated, and hilarious families, team games like tug of peace, family sack races, and the ultimate family relay. Shorno Island transforms into a full amusement park vibe with food area, music rides, water splash zones, giant trampolines, a kids playground, and scenic photo spot that will blow up your socials. All this for a promotional package of just 500 Ghana cedis for a family of 4. Extra family members? No problem. Just come along and join the fun at a top-up per person. It's more than an event. It's a memory in the making. Don't just raise kids. Create memories. 3FM Family Fun Day. Let's play again. Terms and conditions apply. Sponsored by Nestle Golden Morn.
reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Welcome once again. Now, in a powerful display of unity between modern Ghana and its deep-rooted traditions, newly commissioned officers from Military Academy to the Takoradi Air Force Base stepped out of their cockpits and into the heart of the Shema community. Their mission, not recognizance, but respect. Led by a trailblazing young officer, they paid a historic courtesy call to learn directly from the wisdom of the land they serve. Meanwhile, Chief of Grabodo Traditional Area, Nana Nkanomako IV, emphasized he has urged the President to grant traditional leaders the authority to address wrongdoings within their jurisdictions, promoting community-led solutions and accountability.
A striking tableau of Ghana's evolving identity unfolded as Crips Air Force uniform stood respectfully alongside the vibrant kente cloth and rich regalia of the Tertiary Grabodo traditional area in the Shama municipality of the Western region. At the forefront was Flight Lieutenant Elizabeth Ekuadakwa Asiedu, officer commanding Personnel Services Flight and Training Officer for Regimental Orientation Training. She led her cohort of newly commissioned officers on a mission of cultural understanding, bridging tradition and modernity. These young officers, fresh from the rigorous training at the Military Academy, represent Ghana's cutting-edge aerial defense. Yet today, Lieutenant Dakwa highlighted a different kind of strength, the power of community and tradition.
I believe that as military personnel who work with the people in the country, it is very necessary that wherever you go, you familiarize yourself with the rulers. It will help you to be able to respect their culture. It will help you to be able to abide by their rules, and it will foster unity. So I will recommend that anybody, any one of us, whether in the military, in the civil society, let us get to know about our traditional rulers. Let us respect them. Let us know our traditions and abide by them.
Chief of Tertiary Grabodo Traditional Area, Nana Nkanomako IV, flanked by her elders, embraced them not just as military personnel, but as sons and daughters of Ghana. Shifting the focus from military operations to community roots, Nana Nkanomako IV made a passionate appeal to the President to empower traditional leaders to address wrongdoings within their jurisdictions.
Ghana, since young man more to open. Say one shana traditional rest for no one sana and fahanamba.
The country's situation will continue to deteriorate if we fail to reinstate traditional leaders to their rightful place. I've noticed that when I call for communal labor, no one shows up. But when the assembly member calls, people respond. Why is that? One of my divisional chiefs once took some defaulters to court and was even fined. This lack of respect for traditional authority impacts on younger generations. We urge the president to restore our powers, as prolonged disregard has led to widespread disregard for tradition and authority.
There is no respect.
The atmosphere shifted from formal reverence to genuine warmth. You could see the initial nervousness on some officers' faces melt away as the chief spoke of shared values, duty, discipline, and service to the community, values that resonate deeply within the military ethos. For many, like this young flight officer, it was an eye-opening encounter.
Today, I have learned a bit about the history of Shama. I've learned a bit about the history of Tertiary Grabodo. We've learned about greetings and the culture and the tribes that inform how we greet. We've learned about Maha Machi and responses like Ya Emu and Ya Ahenewa, which means that you are of royal heritage. I have enjoyed this visit and I'm very glad I came.
As they departed the palace grounds, the young officers carried more than just their caps. They took with them valuable insight, newfound respect, and a deeper connection to the rich cultural heritage of the Ghana they had vowed to protect. Irama Smith, TV3 News, in Tertiary Grabodo, Shama.
Allow me to take you back to last night. Thousands of fans, fellow musicians, dignitaries, members of the public and lovers of the late legendary high-life musician Charles Kojo-Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba, converged on Independence Square in Accra on Saturday night for the candlelight vigil held in his honor. The passing of Daddy Lumba has sparked nationwide grief and reflection.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That's right. That's more like it. That's more like it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your MCs from TV3.
More on this, ACP Kofi Sapong, the gospel musician and police officer, was at the vigil and we caught up with him.
Oh, yes, that is, but I've met him. I've met him several times. The last time I met him was Accra at the International Airport. And we came from Kumasi. On the tarmac, we talked. And anytime he saw me, he promised or proposed that we need to come out with a song. And that did not come tonight. But I hope that one day we'll meet in heaven.
Give us a freestyle.
I need a song. Yeah, I need a song.
Thank you so much.
One of ACP songs that I really like is it. And I said, you know, so it's a very nice song.
When
you're broken
very
and like you want to pray
song.
and stuff. Yeah.
And it's nice that the gospel musicians were also there to honor him.
Absolutely.
Because we know that Daddy Lumba was a man of many genres, including the gospel music.
Absolutely.
And so
what he started
it was great
with.
that he was there as well with other gospel musicians and then artists from various walks of the country there to support.
And I must commend everyone who came out last night. We saw Sarkodie, who couldn't control his tears, sitting beside Bolare, Efiodo. A lot of people came through, and I think it's really beautiful to see how they are celebrating these, the legend who unfortunately lost his life. But we are waiting to get to know how the funeral arrangements will pan out. And here at TV3, we are definitely going to take this to heart and own it to its entirety.
Well, my name is Judith Brown. I've been doing this with.
My name is Godwin Asidiba. We'll see you same time next week. But Kemini Amano will be on your screen soon with hot issues. Do make some time to tune in. Bye.